one time for once in my life. Just once in my
Seriously,
life.
by myself tonight. So Denise is not going to hear because she's on vacation,
Woohoo!
and and what we're missing. And here, you know what? We're going to start off making fun, but it is really not like Angie to not be. Oh, Angie thought we were skipping this week because you know what? Now that I know that she's not like lying in a ditch somewhere, now we can make fun of her.
Okay. Well, I also thought there was a shot that we were skipping this week,
I
and
thought we skipped last week.
we did skip last week.
Yeah. No. We just skipped the 1 week because the 21st being insane. Um, and but no, we're here, so we'll see if Angie actually
No,
shows
wait.
up.
Did we? I thought
I thought we skipped
no,
last.
we did not skip last week because I was grooming like a mad woman and I watched part of y'all. So maybe Angie's correct and we were supposed to skip this week. That'd
Maybe.
be
Oh well.
so in that
Sorry,
case,
Angie.
Angie is not late. Mary's just a week early.
There we go. Hey Sam, but you know what? We still have people here, so I
Yeah.
do. Yeah. So you know what? This is a lot to kind of unpack in a half hour anyway, and I want to talk about starting to plan for 2023. All right, but before that, Chris does want to make mention of a little chit chat. So
Oh, because I took some of your advice and I took off on the 23rd. Like now I never work on the 24th or the 26th. So this year, Christmas Day and Boxing Day falling on my regular days off annoyed me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It pissed me off just a little bit. But because I took off the 23rd, just in case there was bad weather. You know what I mean? I I kind of did book something for the day, like plans wise, but I let them know if there was a storm and I had to reschedule clients, I would have to cancel. So because of that, and I didn't get hit by the bad weather, two things happened. The first is I relaxed a lot. Like I wasn't panicked. What if there's a storm and I can't get my clients in before Christmas? And I just was like, "Whoop, then I have a place for it. No worries." And the second thing was I got a 4-day weekend.
mhm. Those are nice, aren't they?
I actually took a little bit of a vacation, Mary. Like I
Okay.
worked just long enough on the 23rd to get the podcast up, and it wasn't like a full editing because we're doing the recap of one of our first episode. So it wasn't as long. Like I worked hour and a half on the 23rd and then had all these days off.
Okay, so Angie, just so you know, remove this cover from your computer, from the camera, because we cannot see you and we cannot hear you. Angie takes security way more. See, here's the thing: my computer is their laptop, so when they're closed, they're down. There's nobody watching anything on that computer on that camera. But anyway, what I want to talk about. All right, actually, let's dive on that. Okay, so my last day when I was grooming, my last day was always either the 20th or the 21st, depending on which day of the week it fell. Right. And that was to give me a couple of extra days should bad weather coming in. And the Northeast, that happens. Right. So 21st, generally the latest was the 21st. After that, those became extra days in case, I need them. Right. There is nothing like not making yourself crazy. And Pooh is just being difficult. Okay.
What? Pooh difficult? Never.
Yeah, he's being a little difficult. He feels constrained. This is not my usual sweatshirt I wear with him. So he's feeling a little constrained. Hey, Aaron. All right, so we're waiting for Angie. Do me a favor, send her a message. We cannot see her. Okay. She may have to log out. There she goes. So let's talk about getting ready for 2023. And you know what? This is sort of like time of year that you are supposed to, review everything. It's the end of the year, so it's the end of a quarter. It's the end of the last quarter for the year. Tell her that her screen is black. So that's when you're like supposed to do it. Okay. However, there's no wrong time to review your books, number one. Okay. And for those whose books are an absolute mess and you've waited until the very last minute, there she is. Angie.
Hello.
You are correct. We had like a momentary a minute to make fun of you because you weren't here. Because we usually make fun of Chris for not being here.
Well, last week you said.
Yeah. Don't listen to what I said.
Uh-huh.
I thought we skipped last week because it was the 21st.
No, we were here. We did the branding.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we're here. Okay. But anyway, where was I? So if your books for 2022 are a mess, that's fine. You're starting 2023. It's now time to get into the habit of doing it. And it's not an easy habit if A, you don't want to do it, or you have any of 1,000 reasons why you're not doing it. And here is where it's really kind of important to be self-aware. Like, why are you not getting your books done? Why is this now? Why are you waiting till the end of the year? Why are you not doing it at the end of every week? All right. And there's lots of reasons for that. Maybe you don't want to do it. Okay. And that's fair. Okay. That's a fair reason. But you have to work around that. Maybe part of what your neurodiversity is that's object permanence or executive dysfunction. You just don't get to it. Okay. And you know what? That's fair as well. But if you know that, then you have to work around that. And sometimes maybe just outsourcing that particular part of your business might be the way to go. Who is being difficult, Angie?
Pooh, he says, I don't like this sweatshirt.
He says he does not like this sweatshirt.
I'm smushed, and I
Smushed,
do not
not as soft as the other one.
It's bad.
Yeah,
just bad.
I mean, I know right off the top of my head 2 people right now who are, hi Amy, that are taking this as a new part of a new business venture for them, where they're going to help people. You know what? If you need help, let me know. I will put you in contact with them. But you can't make decisions on your business if you don't have any data to back it up. Correct?
Truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can, but it's not going to be really good decisions.
It may not be very good decisions if you don't have data to back up. And if you get into the habit, and for me, it was a job I did not want to do. I did not want to do my books. All right. I also felt when I was doing a sole proprietor, it's just me, the thought of hiring someone to do, which was probably a poor decision on my part. But I had to learn to do it. And I scheduled every Friday, 4 p.m., scheduled in my book, do the books. And it literally took me 2 years for that to become a habit. And so that every Friday, my books get done. Even still, I don't want to do it. Okay.
I have a great habit that I have formed. Once a month, I drive to the bookkeeper and I go, here.
I like
And
that.
then I drive away.
Fast. Do you drive fast?
I do. I drive away, and I drive away quickly, but within the speed limit.
Okay. So, all right. So you don't want to do it. That's your workaround to do it. Okay. And that is really fair. It's a business expense. All right.
And
So,
worth every penny.
Right. So however you want to do it, and there's online options. All right. There's QuickBooks, which don't get me started on it. I know there's people who love QuickBooks, but I hate QuickBooks. I hate it with a passion.
What I like best about QuickBooks is when I go to my bookkeeper and I hand him the USB and all the stuff, and then I go pick it up and he hands it to me. I take that USB and I drive it to the accountant and I hand it to him and then I drive away. And it's lovely.
Okay.
And that's the thing. I do sadly use QuickBooks, but I like being able, because my accounts are since it's just me and I don't have employees to manage and a physical property, it's just me. My business account gets very wibbly wobbly what gets paid for, but everything goes through it.
Yeah, you see.
So QuickBooks, I can go in my book and go business, personal, and like it's like a bad Tinder date, like business, personal, and I just categorize everything.
All right. We're just giving you the look. All right. But
It
here's the thing. There's a lot
works.
of, all right. All right. But there's a lot of people. And I was like flabbergasted the first time I heard it. And then I hear it on a fairly regular basis. Oh, yeah. I do my books at the end of the year. I save all my receipts. How many hours does that take away from you? All right. First of all, that's got to be overwhelming. I can't imagine having a year's worth of stuff sitting on top of a desk, and now I have to organize that.
Well, okay, just what I pay my bookkeeper for. Okay. Now, I have different accounts for payroll and bills and education, like all the different things. And they get it all squared away and I give it to the accountant. But bookkeeping alone, I pay for about 25 hours of bookkeeping a year. This is a professional. This is what they do.
Yeah.
This is all they do. They are a bookkeeper. That's their thing. I am not a bookkeeper. I am a groomer.
Think about, you know what? God, I did not see it in Costco, but I saw someone posted it of a grooming kit that they're selling in Costco. And I looked at the picture and I'm thinking, oh my God, the tools that are in that kit they're going to make veterinarians a lot of money. Okay? Yeah. Because they don't, I mean, I look at it and I know when and how to use it. Okay. Because the average person who is not a groomer know how to do it. So it's going to take longer. They're going to make mistakes, and that mistakes is going to cost them money. It's going to cost them money at the vet. So the point being is that if you're sitting there with like a year's worth of receipts just piled in front of you, all right, it might be smarter just to say, put it on somebody else's desk and say, you know what? You need to fix this for me. And going forward, I need to be better organized, right? Because you can't make changes to what it is, where you want to go in your business, again, if you don't have that data to back it up, all right? So I'm now going to use positive educational training just as an example of things that are going to change for 2023, but I have the data to back up. And it's like some minor changes, okay? So I have group programs, so larger programs are not part of the Summit membership. And rather just like offering them willy-nilly or having them available as a recording, those doors for those programs open once a year and then they close and then they'll be available the following year. Okay. So that's a little different than what I've been doing, but I know that if I do it that way, all right, and maybe I don't catch everybody who wants to take the program, it's okay because I'm setting new boundaries in the business. Okay. But my business can absorb that without a problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If I don't have the data back there to do that, all right, And another example of that was that, you know what, is when you have your data in front of you, right, you know where you make your mistakes. Okay. Um, and you can correct those mistakes if you know you've made the mistakes and you know where you made the mistakes. Chris is looking a little flabbergasted.
I'm trying to find this on Costco. I'm looking at this now. I'm also thinking, you know, I've got a new class that's still percolating. I haven't put anything on paper yet, because the way I work is when the class gets picked up, then it goes from percolating to typey. But the title of the class is, "So what did I learn today?" Because every time I've done something, and quite often I can tell immediately, this was a mistake, whether it's how I handled a customer, a pet, business. Very often it's like out of mouth, "Oh, that was a mistake." But even if it's not right away because I'm still upset or something, and I didn't listen to my own advice and take that moment to breathe, I go, "Okay, this is now a learning experience. How could I handle this better?" And I
Okay.
try to be a better business person tomorrow than I was today,
Yeah.
or today
Okay.
than I
So you
was
try to
yesterday.
minimize learning experiences.
Oh, yeah.
You're constantly making learning experiences. They're costing your business a lot of money.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's not a constant thing. It's just an every so often I go, "Yeah."
Right. Business landscapes change, and they can change really quickly. All right. We all learned that during COVID.
Mhm.
Okay. Of business models that had to change to adapt to the new landscape. All right. And lots of mistakes were made, and it also highlighted a lot of mistakes. Okay. But again, you know, knowing what your data is, and like, and it's never too late, because I'm going to tell you, I was that person who sat there and looked at not as bad as a year, but looked at those receipts that sat on my desk for a month, and then had to go in there and organize. And you do that a couple of times, and you know what? This is really old. This is not working for me. All right. It's taking me longer to do something if I would just keep up with it. So,
What is
and
that? What is that? A stitch in time saves 9?
Mhm.
yeah, you know, but again, you know, sometimes that takes a little work to do it. Sometimes you need help, and know when to recognize you need help, and also to recognize when, you know what, this is not the task for me. I don't want to do this. I am not going to do this. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, right? So right out of the gate, I knew I would never do my taxes. I knew that it was not ever going to happen. Um, but that was an easy thing to make that decision. Okay. There are a lot of decisions that you think should be easy, and they're not. Right. And I think part of the reason is that, you know, for the most part, we are a women-based business, you know, and women are just simply used to doing everything. Okay. And when 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 you're used to doing everything, you don't necessarily want to be, you know, seek that help that you should, and there shouldn't be a problem doing it. Now, when she says she does it monthly, um,
Mhm.
she makes it easier when it comes to tax season. The monthly stuff sitting on my desk, that was, for me, that was overwhelming. All right. And if you get overwhelmed at something, tends things not to get done, or you're doing it quickly because you want to get it over with and maybe not doing it correctly. Hi, Tommy.
Well, what I do, I have a small default collapsible file folder and I have an empty file in there. And as the month goes along, I put all the receipts in that file folder, and I put
Mhm.
them in order. And I have 2 paper clips, one for big pieces of paper and one for small ones. And then when my phone says, "Hey, go to the bookkeeper today at 11 o'clock," I go,
Okay.
right.
You
And I pick up the file folder and I put it in my car. And then I drive there and I hand them that and the USB that I have taped to the inside of the file folder.
all right. So you bring up a really good point here. Your alarm goes off and it tells you to do something.
Yes. Because if I don't have that in there, it will not tell me. I have
Yeah.
a standing appointment the last day of the month at 11 o'clock every month. Here's
What
this
if
one.
it falls on a Sunday?
Well, then it's the next day. It's a Monday. So
Okay. Okay. Just checking.
yeah, if it's a Saturday or a Monday, then or Saturday, Sunday, then it's the Monday.
Okay.
Or it'll be the Friday if Monday is, so say the 31st is Sunday, the last business day of the month is the 28th
Okay.
or 29th.
So today's the 28th, right? So the first starts on Sunday. Okay. And for some of us, that's a work day. All right. Some of us are recovering. Well, not me, because you know what? I probably will be celebrating New Year's Eve around the same time you guys are celebrating New Year's Eve. Okay.
Because your bedtime is your bedtime is your bedtime. God damn it.
Yes. And you know what? It's midnight somewhere. Okay.
My appointment is December 30th at 11 o'clock.
All right. So, couple days basically until 2023 starts. All right. And you know what? If all you do right this very minute is go over to Staples or Office Max or Office Depot, whatever, or you know what? On Amazon. Okay.
Not, she's not going to show the book.
The book. The book.
The evil book.
Okay. I got a new one over there. But the point being is if you just start on the first or the second or whatever day you start and start keeping track of what it is you're doing and figure out how you're going to get the data you need to know about your business, your financials, how are you going to get that done so that it actually gets done?
I'm about to Google bookkeepers. That's what I'm doing.
Okay,
You
you know
totally
what?
should.
That is
Oh my God. It is the best thing I ever did. Because the first year I was in business, I did it myself and I did it in QuickBooks. And I watched probably 100 hours on how to use QuickBooks. And about 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Never understood it. Still did it. But now I pay for someone else to do it.
Yeah, I had QuickBooks for 1 year, and that year was great until we crossed over into the second year. And I am sure that I set up something wrong there. Okay. And it just, everything, all totals got screwed up. I had to go back in and redo the entire year to give it off to my accountant. And that was the end of my life with QuickBooks. And it wasn't that long ago, Tommy. It really wasn't. It was a couple of years ago that I decided to get, online like everybody else. And let me tell you something. All right, Facebook user has a bookkeeper named, it's Stephanie, has a bookkeeper named John. It's why I married him. That's a really good reason. Okay. It's an excellent reason. Okay. And Marcello has a bookkeeper as well. Hey, Scott, we're talking about the books for the year. Okay. So, but yeah, I just threw up my hands in frustration. I tried calling them to get help, and they're like, yeah, we can fix this for you. This is how much it's going to cost per hour to do it. And I'm like, I believe I said it, Chris. the phone. And then I canceled it.
You said it.
Oh, no, 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 no. I said the word that you're trying to get me to
Uh-huh.
say.
You said it. You said the word. You said it to another human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, bookkeeper is worth their weight in gold. So is a solid accountant that understands
Small
business
business.
taxes and all that.
Yeah.
My accountant is amazing, and every quarter I bring him and his staff. I go down to the Italian bakery, and I get a whole bunch of goodies, and I bring them in with my taxes and go, good luck. And then he calls me up and he hands me a little piece of paper and says, all right, Angie, send him a check for this. And I said, okay, thank you. And I do it digitally, but he has a thing against digital payments because they don't need your money a day sooner than they should have it.
Okay,
But
so let's talk about quarterly tax payments really quick before we end it up for today. Okay. As a small business owners, we have to make quarterly tax payments. All right. So my accountant estimates what I'm going to pay. And so I will pay the first three before I pay the last one. I run my figures by him. Okay. And he'll say, yeah, you're still on track for that. Or like, wow, you made more money than I thought. You need to add this amount of money to your taxes, because if you don't pay the proper quarterly taxes, and there's a range, and it is not it's not a big range, it's a little tiny range. Okay. If you don't pay the correct taxes, then you get hit with fine and interests and penalties. You know what? And I'd rather not pay those. They're getting enough of my money, adding in another couple $100 because I underestimated the taxes, or I did not inform my accountant of the increase in revenues, then, that's on me. So anyway, so the whole point of this one is to be self-aware and know what you can and cannot do as far as your day-to-day books on your business. And if you're honest for whatever of the 1,000 reasons that you have for not being able to do it, then either seek help or apply yourself. One or the other.
And don't forget, January 15th is the payment for the last quarter for this year.
Yeah.
So,
I'm also going to take that. And I think we should almost talk about this later as a fuller topic. But so many of us are the breadwinners in our industry, and life insurance is seen as a thing that the guys have. But if we're the breadwinners for our family, even if it's split, even if it's a dual income household, if you're bringing in a sizable chunk of the change, yeah, have life insurance.
All right.
That's
and
part of planning for the future.
All right. So maybe next Tuesday, that's our topic. We talk about the different types of insurance that we should have as business owners.
Mhm.
Okay.
That works for me.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
see you next week.
Bye. See you next year. Ha ha.
That too.